Have you ever found yourself drawn to someone who seems emotionally distant, only to feel frustrated and confused? You're not alone. Studies show that nearly 60% of people struggle with attraction to emotionally unavailable partners at some point in their lives. But why is this such a common pattern? It turns out that there's more going on than just simple attraction. Emotionally unavailable people might feel like a challenge, an enigma you want to figure out. But did you know this type of attraction could be rooted in deeper psychological patterns, dating all the way back to childhood? In fact, a staggering 70% of people have some form of attachment trauma that influences their relationship choices. In this video, we'll uncover the surprising reasons behind your attraction to emotionally unavailable people and explore why it's often more about chasing excitement than seeking true connection. You'll learn how your brain gets hooked on drama, why the unavailable ones seem so magnetic, and how to break free from this cycle. Stick around, because this might change how you see your past relationships and help you find the healthy love you deserve. Chapter 1: The Unseen Pull, Why They Trigger Your Inner Desire. Ever wondered why emotionally unavailable people seem to pull you in? It's not just about attraction, it's about a deep psychological trigger. When someone is emotionally distant, your brain sees them as a challenge. This taps into something deeper within you, the desire to fix, change, or win them over. According to Dr. John Gottman, a relationship expert, this dynamic often mirrors attachment issues formed in childhood. If you grew up with a caregiver who was emotionally distant or unpredictable, your brain might be wired to crave the drama of emotional unavailability in adulthood. Interestingly, this cycle isn't as random as it feels. It's your subconscious at play, pushing you toward what you've known, even if it isn't healthy. Many people are drawn to the idea of breaking down someone's walls, convinced they can fix them. But the truth is, the more distant a person is, the more you may find yourself obsessed with them. This isn't a sign of true love, it's a sign of attachment to the chase. It's like being caught in a magnetic field where the pull is strong, but the connection remains just out of reach. Chapter 2: The Thrill of the Chase, Why You Crave the Impossible. There's something addictive about pursuing the unattainable. If you've ever felt that spark when someone seems emotionally unavailable, it might be because you're experiencing a rush. Studies show that the brain releases dopamine during these moments, the same chemical released during pleasure or reward. According to psychologist Dr. David McClelland, people are often drawn to the excitement of the chase, not the relationship itself. The uncertainty creates excitement, which many mistake for passion. This dopamine high can make you feel alive, even though it's fleeting. It's like riding a roller coaster. There are ups and downs, and you crave that next turn. The problem? The thrill doesn't last long enough to build a real connection. Instead of focusing on deep emotional bonding, you're more interested in solving the puzzle of why they're pulling away. So, what happens when you finally get their attention? You often feel let down, because the chase was always the most rewarding part. Chapter 3: Love or Fear? Unpacking the drama of emotional distance. Is it love, or is it fear driving your attraction to emotionally unavailable people? When someone is emotionally distant, it can feel like a challenge. But this isn't just about attraction, it's about avoiding emotional vulnerability. For many, being close to someone means risking emotional pain, and emotionally unavailable people make that risk feel manageable. It's easier to chase someone who's unavailable than to open up fully to someone who might reject you. According to Dr. Amir Levine, co-author of Attached, emotionally distant people often keep their partners at arm's length to protect themselves from vulnerability. This pattern can stem from past trauma or deep-rooted fear of emotional intimacy. By staying in a relationship with someone who is emotionally unavailable, you can maintain your distance from vulnerability. You might even trick yourself into thinking this is love, but it's really fear masked as desire. In reality, it's about finding comfort in the distance, not in the connection. That's why the closer you get to someone who's emotionally available, the more uneasy you might feel. The true work is not in getting their attention, but in breaking free from your own emotional walls. If you're enjoying these insights, make sure to hit the subscribe button. You won't want to miss the rest of the video on how to break free from these unhealthy patterns. Chapter 4: Patterns of the Past, How your childhood shapes your love life. Your childhood experiences might be shaping your attraction to emotionally unavailable people without you even realizing it. Psychologists call this attachment theory. It says that the way we relate to caregivers as children impacts how we connect with others as adults. If your parents or primary caregivers were emotionally distant or unpredictable, you might find yourself drawn to partners who mirror those same behaviors. This pattern becomes ingrained in your mind, and your brain seeks comfort in what's familiar, even if it's unhealthy. According to Dr. Laura Berman, a relationship therapist, individuals who experience neglect or emotional unavailability growing up often gravitate toward partners who offer the same type of emotional distance. But this doesn't mean you're stuck in these patterns forever. Recognizing how your past influences your present choices is the first step toward changing them. Once you understand why you're drawn to emotional unavailability, you can start to break the cycle and seek healthier, more emotionally available relationships. Chapter 5: The Highs and Lows. Why you feel alive with unavailability. There's something about the highs and lows of being with someone emotionally unavailable that can make you feel alive. This roller coaster of emotions, feeling loved one moment and rejected the next, might feel like excitement, but it's not true love. In fact, it can be a dangerous form of emotional addiction. The human brain thrives on change and unpredictability, which is why these emotional highs and lows can be so thrilling. According to Dr. Alexandra Solomon, a relationship expert and author of Loving Bravely, emotionally unstable relationships release stress hormones that create a sense of urgency and heightened emotion. However, this emotional instability doesn't lead to long-term happiness. It might feel like passion, but it's actually a form of chaos that keeps you hooked. When your emotions are in constant flux, your brain craves more of that emotional intensity. However, the more you engage in this type of relationship, the harder it is to break free from the cycle of emotional chaos. The key to true happiness in relationships is learning to embrace stability, not chaos. Chapter 6: Breaking the Cycle. How to break free from unhealthy attraction. Breaking the cycle of attraction to emotionally unavailable people is possible, but it requires self-awareness and intentional change. First, recognize the patterns. Are you drawn to people who make you feel uncertain or unavailable? If so, it's time to challenge those patterns and ask yourself why you seek this type of relationship. Therapy can help, but self-reflection and mindfulness are key. Understanding your attachment style is another important step. Are you anxious, avoidant, or secure in your relationships? Once you identify your attachment style, you can start to work on healing the parts of yourself that keep attracting emotionally distant people. Dr. Harville Hendrix, co-author of Getting the Love You Want, emphasizes the importance of creating a secure emotional bond with a partner. Building trust and vulnerability over time will help you seek out emotionally available partners who are capable of offering the love and connection you deserve. Lastly, practice self-love. You deserve to be with someone who is open, honest, and available. Break free from the pattern, and give yourself permission to embrace a healthier, more fulfilling relationship. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share it with others who may be stuck in this same pattern. Remember, true love is about finding someone who is available and ready to connect, emotionally and deeply.